One thing that I do not understand is why not a lot more people buy from startups or work with startups. That is something I just fail to understand. It's just crazy, you know. If your company or your business needs support or help in one particular aspect, wouldn't you much rather work with a startup or an early stage brand to help you? I mean, why on earth wouldn't you do that? When you decide to work with a partner or work with a business, you look for two things. One is the ability for the partner or the vendor or the client to provide value. The second is authenticity. How much does the team care about the problem, about your problem that you're trying to solve? And when you work with startups, or work with startup founders who have proven ability, who have existing clients, who have been in business for more than a year, wouldn't you much rather work with such early stage companies and support such companies rather than work with a large, massive corporation? Instead, like, why wouldn't you? I mean, I know founders that would go above and beyond, including me. I mean, I've worked with brands that have gone above and beyond, way out of scope of work that we usually do, just so that we hit the goal, just so that we help them with oftentimes with little to no additional financial incentives. I mean, that's just the mindset of the founder and of the team, because they are hungry, they are looking for those successes, and they're looking for partners who can refer them to other clients. So if you do decide you need help in any aspect of your business, I would strongly recommend working with a startup with proven track record, and that has been in business for more than a year, because that shows that the startup is worthy of your support with very little risk. Even us, for example, we work with brands that sell on e-commerce spaces. We have an excellent software that does most of the work, but I make sure that in many cases, as an e-commerce brand, there is a need to do a lot more things other than just optimizations and the usual course of work. That may include taking product photos, for example. That may include making the branding of a product. And we are not a branding agency, but we have gone above and beyond because we know what works. We have all the data. We know what needs to be done. And for a lot of cases, we do not charge that extra amount that they would have had to pay someone else to do it. Why? Because I care, because my team cares, and because everyone in my organization cares about the success of the company. Not just because of financial reasons, not just because of metrics, but because that is the sole reason that this company still exists. And I would highly recommend that, if you do decide you need help, work with an early stage brand. And not just for software related stuff like we do, even for brands, even small businesses. I mean, I work with a few small businesses. They're my clients. And when they face issues, I've seen how much they've gone above and beyond, how much it affects them deeply when the client expresses displeasure. It affects me deeply. We are a software company, and a lot of software companies, as you must be aware, they're not, in most cases, they're not pure software. They have some kind of support or help that is needed to either enhance the results or to solve issues that come along the way. So, and if you are in that position, that is what I would recommend. And it just still to this day blows my mind why more people don't just flock and search out startups to help them grow. It's just sad to see why that happens, because there is a conception that if I work with an established brand, if I work with 100-year-old company with 1 million employees, I would get much better results. No. Why would that, why on earth would that happen? You tell me. Why? You work with a large company, you're dealing with a hierarchy of people who couldn't care less about you, who are only worried about their salaries and their KPIs and moving on to paying their next month's rent and taking the weekends off. But when you work with a startup, 24/7, you have brains and hearts that care about you, that care about your product, that care about your pain, and are looking day and night to not just solve them, but to make sure that you don't feel the pinch of the pain that is being solved. That's passion. And why wouldn't you want passion behind you and your business? Why wouldn't you want passion in everything that you do? Why wouldn't you want to surround yourself with people who are passionate about their work and who are good at it and who have been doing it for years and who really, really care that they win, that you win, and that everyone wins in a world that is extremely competitive, that is extremely cutthroat, and in a world where many good ideas, many good people do not receive the validation, the support, the money, the investment, the clients, the contracts that they deserve, that they have earned, that would put them to the next level of their growth, which would make not just their lives better, but your life better. So that's just my little rant about being more open to working with startups.